for
Yes,
1 or 2
sir.
more minutes?
Actually, just 17 people joined.
Okay,
We
how
have
many people?
30 students.
30 students. Okay. Everyone got the link?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then we will wait for 1 or 2 more minutes, then we can start. Okay, it is already 6 minutes over, so I think we should start
Yes,
because
sir. Yes,
then
sir.
let others join afterwards when they feel comfortable. Okay, so welcome and good afternoon, everyone. I am Shourav Gop. I am currently a PhD student at IACS, and I will be your TA for this course, which is JKB sir is taking. Okay, so sir told me that this assignment submission and this thing is not a mandatory thing like other courses. This course is an exception, but if you want we can discuss about the assignments regularly. Sir will be sending the assignments to you on weekly basis, I hope. So okay, so today we will just discuss your views and the probable solutions for this assignment one. Okay, so let me just share my screen where I will be writing things so you can see what I am writing. Okay. Okay. So what I will do, I will just is my screen visible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And if I write something, can you also see that
Yes, sir.
I'm
Yes, sir.
drawing a
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, we can see that. No
okay,
problem at all.
okay, fine. So
Yes, sir,
yeah,
we can see.
okay, thank you. So the problem is that I have I have already solved for some certain portion, and now just we can we can solve it together. So the problem is this: we have a box, we have a cuboidal box cube, and in the box the ideal gas is contained in some in certain temperature, and we have a small outlet, we have a small hole there. Through that we let some of the particles to escape, right? We allow some of the particles to escape. Now the first question is that what will be the current of that outgoing particles? Now how do we define the current? We can define the current by the number of particles escaping per unit time, and there is a certain, there is, I think it should also be defined as per unit area. That should be the current. Okay, current,
So that is flux, I think.
sorry.
Per unit area when it comes, then it is flux.
No, that
And
is
so
current.
current is multiplying that area, right?
That's it.
So that does that current will depend on the aperture of the hole, do you think?
Yes, sir, it will. Yes, sir.
Yes, it will depend, right? Yes. Okay, so as it is mentioned that so it is a bit there is certain little ambiguity, because then as you said that the current will depend on the aperture, or what the diameter or the radius of the hole. Okay, okay, then can any one of you just give me an overview of how did you solve this first part? Anyone? Just an overview.
Sir, I have taken an arbitrary volume of, suppose the length is velocity of any arbitrary velocity that particles can have within that box, and that is extended to the outlet area.
Okay.
And basically, if I calculate the number of particles within that box distribution by using that distribution function,
Mhm.
and if I integrate it over means theta, means it's basically an arbitrary one, then I have to integrate over all the possible velocities that is approaching to that hole. And that means I have to integrate over that theta or phi means angles, and then I will be
Okay.
getting overall flux or something, or current. Then we can means flux is some
You
means
can just divide,
yes.
you can divide by area of
Yes.
the outlet,
Yes.
and that will be the flux. right?
Yes. Yes.
Fine, thank you. So that's correct. So what we have to do, so acha, okay, let me just yeah, suppose this, we are focusing on this outlet, okay, right? Now we have to calculate the flux, that is we have to calculate the current, that is the number of particles escaping per unit time. Okay, now in unit time there are a lot of particles, there are a lot of ideal gas molecules are there, right? But not all of them will be able to reach this, not all of them will be able to reach this outlet in unit time. Okay. So, and can anyone tell me what is the why it is mentioned that the aperture of the hole, this outlet is infinitesimal, very small? What happens if we make this hole a bit bigger?
So
Then what
then
happens?
there can be the other gas molecules that can be coming, that
Other
can come
means,
inside the outside of the box. The gas, there is also some gas present. They can come inside the box. So
okay, no, if we
Sir, I
just
think
make,
if the velocity is in the x direction, then only the gas molecule can come out. Otherwise, not. If the hole is very small.
exactly, and you are, which, I mean, I don't know your names
Sir,
at all.
Shubham Chakraborty.
Shubham. Very good, Shubham. So if we just think it in that way, if the hole was a bit bigger, uh, a bit bigger, then if some gas molecule approaching from this direction, they will be able to come out of the hole. If some gas molecule approaching from this direction, then also it will be they can come out of the hole. Okay, now there is a, now if we make the hole bigger, then we cannot particularly determine what will be the approaching direction range from which the gas molecule can come and go outside. To remove this ambiguity, to remove this uncertainty, the question has set in such a way that the hole is very small, tiny, infinitesimal, so that only the velocities, only the gas molecule approaching with velocities in, suppose in, it is the hole in the yz plane, in this plane, yz plane, then only the x directional, the velocities having only the velocities in the x direction, positive x direction, mind it, positive x direction, they will only be able to come outside of the hole. Okay, not in this, not the velocities approaching from any arbitrary direction having both x and y or z component, they will not be able to escape this container. Am I clear to everyone, or up to this point anyone have any doubt? At any point within my within this class you have any doubt, please stop me and clarify your doubt. No one has any doubt? Okay, then we proceed. Okay, now you understand why it is mentioned in the question that it is a very small infinitesimal aperture, infinitesimal hole. Okay, so now we have to determine the number of particles, determine the number of molecules which can reach to this aperture, to this hole or outlet in unit time. Okay, for this, what we do, among you, anyone, what could be the suppose I take this whole cylinder, I take this aperture to be of area dA is the area of this outlet or aperture, and I draw a cylinder, right? I draw a cylinder around that, and I claim that only the particles residing within this cylinder can come out per unit time in 1 second. Suppose in 1 second, only the particles or the gas molecules residing within the cylinder can come out of the outlet. What would be the length of this cylinder? The area, the cross section we know, dA. What will be the length of this cylinder?
V,
Sorry,
V, the velocity of the
Vx means.
why?
means they will be approaching in the x direction, those particles.
Yes, no, that I understand. Some x direction approaching velocity is v, but why not it is 2v or 3v or v by root 2
Vx into t. For unit time, it is Vx.
for unit time, because v, suppose it is measured in centimeter per second, and I claim that only the velocities to reach from this end to this end to this end, the time will be needing, maximum time we can allow is 1 second. So the only the velocities having velocity vx, having, I mean, the length would be vx, because sorry, yeah,
Because all the particles within the cylinder after
Within the
unit time will be
cylinder?
passing through the air.
yes, exactly. So we can just think of it as a cylinder of cross section area dA, and length will be vx. Okay, so yeah, so the number of particles striking the infinitesimal area dA in unit time will be the number of gas molecules lying in the volume Vx dA. This is the volume, the dA is the cross section, Va is the length, so the volume will be Vx dA. And having the x component velocity lying Vx and Vx plus dVx, and this is not the entire number I mentioned you, because we don't know that certain, because then okay, now what is this number? The number of gas molecules lying in the volume Vx dA and having x component of velocity lying between Vx and Vx plus dVx. This is the gas molecules residing within this cylinder only, right? But can only the particles residing this cylinder can come out of the box in unit time. The velocity will be Vx. And if we just integrate over Vx, if we just take all possible values of Vx, because if you just vary this velocity, if you suppose you take twice Vx, some particle having velocity 2Vx, right? Then that molecule can travel twice the distance of this cylinder in unit time, right? So we have to take all possible values of this Vx in order to get the correct number of particles coming out of this outlet in unit time, right? Okay. So now you see, it is written that the number of particles coming out of this residing within this cylinder of aperture dA, of cross section dA, and length will be Vx. What would be the number of particles then? We have to integrate over y and z, and we have to multiply it with the probability distribution or the velocity distribution, that is f of v. And we have already multiplied with the number of particles per unit volume, the number density n. Okay, considering all the velocities, all the velocity components. Now, why we are only integrating over y and z component? Can anyone tell me? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so why am I integrating only over y and z direction? No one?
Sir, because in that particular cylinder we know the number of molecules, but in the
Yes.
YZ volume we are integrating that part actually.
Because in that particular cylinder we are taking that the length of the cylinder is Vx.
Yes.
So the velocity we are taking as Vx. I mean, a particular x direction velocity is there.
Yes. So the
So,
reason is that
is
yes.
that means within that particular volume of Vx, there can be some velocity which is Vy, which can decide at some point, means at any instant. So we have to take those also into account because
Right. So a particular velocity can have several components, Vx, Vy, and Vz. But we only want the x component for our this purpose. So we integrate over all the other components y and z, because only the x component is important for us. Okay, because only the x component of velocity, only the particles having velocity of vx will be able to travel through this cylinder and come out of this aperture, come out of this outlet. So we integrate over all the other components y and z, right? So now this we call this dnx. What is that? This is the number of particles that having velocity between vx and vx plus dvx, right? Now f of v, we know that f of v is the velocity distribution. You have already studied the Maxwell distribution. What was his name? This Maxwell distribution? No, I have forgot. Or Maxwell-Boltzmann.
Maxwell-Boltzmann.
Maxwell-Boltzmann, sir.
Yeah, Maxwell-Boltzmann. Okay, Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution. Right. So f of v is m by 2 pi kt to the 3 by 2 e to the minus mv square by 2 kt. Remember, this velocity v has three components: vx square plus vy square plus vz square. Right? Okay. Now,
sir, I think that's why we have to include this, that since that distribution function contains dy square plus dz square also, we have to include the dvy and dvz.
yes, yes. The reason is that the velocity for a particular velocity, any arbitrary velocity, that has three components. Okay. The velocities can be traveling, the particles can be traveling in this direction, particles can be traveling in that direction, and arbitrary directions. They cannot come out of the box. They cannot come out of the box to this outlet. We have to find out how many particles are with velocities vx. And you just said that the probability distribution that contains all the velocities. So we have to integrate out all the velocities, we have to integrate all the velocity components, and we have to consider only the velocities in the x direction. Right? Only that can come out of the box. Right? So we can this velocity includes the v square includes three velocities, vx, vy, and vz, and they are all multiplied out if we just take out of the exponential. So we can easily perform this integration over y and z component, right? Now if we just perform this integration, we see that this integration, you all know, you have done this sort of integration using gamma functions in the class, I presume.
Yes, sir.
Okay. But still, if you don't understand at any point of how this integration, how this calculation goes, you can just make a
Sir,
clarification.
I mean, sir mentioned about gamma function, but you did not say elaborately how that goes. If
Okay.
you can show us one day, then it will be
Okay, I will
useful
just
for us.
I will discuss with sir and let you
Yes,
know, or otherwise if he is planning to do so, then I don't
yes,
need
sir.
to yeah. Okay, so this integration, you know how uh, this happens.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
okay. So the y component integration, and remember when we take the when we take this integration limit, all the limits of y is minus infinity to infinity, because we are integrating out all the y and z components. Okay, so okay, so if we just put this integration into this form, we have here m over 2 pi kt to the 3 by 2. And if we just do the y and z integrations, we have 2 pi kt by m square root, then we multiply that whole square. That just turns out 2 pi kt by over m. And previously it was to the power 3 by 2, and now it is just only square root, because we have multiplied the contribution from y and z integration, right? Now, so this is the number of particles. This is the number of particles which having velocity vx and vx plus dvx, right? Now we need to integrate this expression over vx greater than 0 to find the number of particles, find the total number of particles crossing this dA aperture in unit time, because we cannot just take arbitrary value for vx. Vx has values ranging from minus infinity to infinity. Now, can you tell me why just I'm taking this Vx greater than 0, not less than 0?
Because less than zero will not be approaching the pole. It will be
Right.
other
So
direction.
in the way the problem is settled, only the velocities, only the velocities uh, approaching with velocity Vx approaching this direction, positive x direction, will be able to come out of this hole, right? Okay. Now if we just integrate this from ranging 0 to infinity, not minus infinity to infinity, we are taking the positive x direction of velocities. Then we can just assume this to be q, because to put it in the form of gamma function, mv square is equal to q. Then we just make differentiation, and we can, and the velocities and the number we turn out to be nda square root of kt by 2 pi m. So this is the current, right? I have mentioned it wrong. So this is basically your jx. Yeah, I am defining current by jx, right? Now, if we just determine the flux, we can determine the flux. We can x. I can write x flux, x directional flux. I can call it some S. Oh no, S stands for yeah, some flux. F will be the force. Okay, the flux will be the number of particles escaping per unit area per unit time. If we just this is what is the answer to the first question. And if we just divide it over dA, divide it over the cross section area, then we will get the number of particles escaping per unit area per unit time, right? That would be the nx over dA is square root of kt over m. Now you see that we can write this as n times v bar by 4, where v bar is the mean velocity per particle. You have known that the mean velocity, or the average velocity, if you just average out the velocities, if you just do some this sort of integration, v f of v this dv this d3v, then will be that will be d3v, right? If you will just get the v bar, you call it v bar, that will be how much is the average velocity? Do you remember? Mean
3 by
velocity.
2 is something, sir.
Sorry. Say again.
3 by 2t or something like that.
No.
It's v square average actually.
Yes. That is no. That is you are saying the root mean square velocity (RMS). No?
Yes, sir.
I'm talking about the average velocity. That is the square root of v
Zero.
square. Sorry.
8 RT by pi m.
Yeah, 8 kt. That is the
Okay, sir.
8 kt over pi m. That is the average velocity. If you do this kind of, this is the symbol of average. If you just take the average of some quantity, say some quantity x. If you just want to find out the expectation of x, you just integrate x over the this f of x could be the probability distribution, and dx or the velocity here. This is the definition of x, expectation of x, or the average of x. Okay. So this v bar is the average velocity of particles. This portion, this v bar is the average velocity of the particles. What? Residing within the container. But now the for the outgoing particles, the particles that are approaching this cylinder, that has velocities, that has some flux in v bar over 4, and if you just multiply this flux over efflux velocity, this flux, this flux over the number density, you will get the effective efflux velocity, right? This is, you see, this is less than the average velocity of the particles residing within the container. Okay. Now, up to this point, anyone have any doubt, any questions, any remarks, anything? Up to this point, did you all follow? Hello.
Yes, sir. No problem.
No problem. You expected this this thing to be come out of smaller than v by 4 or greater than v by 4.
Certainly smaller, but I do not attend this expression.
Why smaller? You expected it to be smaller, no? Why?
Okay. Means,
You have told something. Anyone other than what was your name? Sorry, you just who just spoke to me. What was your name? Hello. Hello. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, sir. Nilanjan
Yes, sir.
was speaking before.
Nilanjan.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Other than Nilanjan, everyone is following. Everyone was expecting a smaller efflux velocity, smaller average velocity of the particles approaching this this outlet. Okay. So
sir, I was expecting larger, not smaller. Means I was expecting that if the particle was inside the box, it
Ah.
is between some constant. When it's get outside, it becomes basically free.
Why? No, you are expecting higher. Sorry, yeah, expecting
Yes.
higher. Why? Because you see that the particle was contained is
Yes.
some
Bounded by the constants, means wall.
bounded by the
The
constraints. So
velocities are restricted.
if I let the particle freely move
Yes.
or freely come out of an outlet, then it will come out. It will be the velocities will be higher.
Yes.
Is it the case that the velocities while coming out of this aperture, suddenly the velocity increases, or are you expecting the higher velocity particles to escape this?
Means the higher velocity of the particles, they will be escaping, means more. I was expecting like that.
Right,
They will be winning the race, something.
they will be winning the race. Nilanjan, right? Am I?
Yes, sir.
So did you follow what Nilanjan just said?
Yes.
Did you all follow what? Do you disagree
Yes,
with
sir.
him? So do you expect that the there are certainly this is a velocity distribution we have right here, right, within this container. Within this container we have this velocity distribution, some kind of Gaussian like distribution, right? We have some average velocities lying somewhere here, and we have some high this is some velocity. What direction? Sorry, this what looks like the velocity distribution, right?
Yes.
And this is f of v, no? And this is v, mod v, maybe, if I just yeah. Am I right?
Yes.
So
Yes, sir.
we have some, this point is what? This point, this velocity is what this velocity? This is mean velocity. This is the maximum velocity.
I think
Huh?
it means because standard deviation is 0.
No, standard deviation I have not. Okay, this is mean velocity.
Yes.
How about I call you this is the most probable velocity? Will you be agreeing then?
Yes, sir.
Yes, maximum number of
most probable
particles.
velocity, because the most number of particles
Particles
is
is
very
Yes, sir. Number of particles is higher.
Yes. So what is it? Mean velocity, root mean square velocity, or most probable? What is it? This
most
point.
probable.
Most probable.
Most
So you
probable,
see
sir.
that, yes. So this curve this describes the number of particles essentially, or the occupancy of particles, or the probability of finding a particles with this velocity. You see, at this point, the probability of finding a particle is higher, the highest. That means most of the particles will be found if we just find a particle randomly, choose a particle randomly. This is the most probable velocity. You are most likely to find the particle with velocity this, most probable velocity, right? Now, just in the left side and in the right side, we always have particles with less velocities. We always have particles with more velocities than that, right? In this end, exactly, and at very this right hand end, we will always have some particles with very high velocities, but following a distribution, the number of them is very less. Okay, so now it is just a common I mean, it is our what can I say? It is our common guess that if I just capture a lot of particles, within this uh, within a volume, within this volume, the good, I mean, the this low velocity particles, they are not very likely to escape this box. Only the very high velocity particles, they have probability of escaping that box. This should be our common guess. But what is this? This velocity is. So let me ask you another question. That did you all solve this question and got this velocity to be like this, or I am doing something wrong? You all got this kind of lower velocity, efflux velocity? Did you all got, or anything? Anyone got any different answer from me? Did anyone got any different answer?
So not different answer means could not calculate, means I did not have that idea of effective efflux velocity.
Okay.
I was certainly thinking either it would be equal or greater than the velocity inside the box, not less than, means certainly
Anyone?
not less.
Okay. Anyone among you who calculated this thing? Did anyone who did this first part calculated this thing? No one did calculate.
I calculated up to the first part and couldn't complete the second part.
And you arrived up to which answer?
Up to the what is that, current?
This current, and you got exactly this current.
Yes.
You got this current.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I also get this current.
Okay. So now the things become interesting. Suppose how about we calculate? Acha, okay. Now so there is some mismatch is happening. No, we expected a higher velocity, but this velocity, mean velocity, come out to be a smaller. What is happening here? The mean velocity approaching this cylindrical tube, this come out to be lower. So you tell me what actually determines the velocity. Velocity is determined by what factor? What factor? Pressure? Huh? Temperature, right? Or I can say the energy. Velocity or energy. Velocity or energy of particles, that is determined by temperature. So how about we just calculate the average energy, right, of the particles that just comes out of this aperture, of this outlet, right? Now you will also do this thing with me. So the concept is like previous, like the one thing. Do you have any other class after this?
Yes, sir. We have class from 2 p.m. I think.
Okay. Now, so we have to hurry a bit. Okay. So now the concept is like previous. Sorry. Right. We have a cylinder. We have to just we have to calculate the particles residing within the cylinder. Right. Within the cylinder, the length of the cylinder will be what? Vx. The area will be dA. So we need to find out the energy carried out by the particles across this outlet, right, per unit time. Now, how do we do that? Now we have to take the expectation of energy. Now, how do you define?
Hello.
Sir, you are not audible.
we are just integrating over the this.
Sir, you are not audible for last 30 seconds.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Sir, you are not audible.
Am I audible now? Am I audible
Yes,
now?
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Up to what point you did listen?
We have to calculate the expectation value of energy up to that.
Right, right. So we have to calculate the energy carried out by the particle, whose velocity lies between Vx and Vx plus dVx, right? Now, how do you define the energy, kinetic energy of particle?
Half mv square.
Half mv square. So we have to get the expectation value of, half of mv square, right? Mv x square, right? So, okay. So now we define this to be the, we define this quantity to be d of ex. This is the energy of the particle. This is the energy of the particle whose velocity lies between Vx and Vx plus dVx. Now you tell me, what should I write here? We have just we can write this in number density, and we have to calculate the energy of the particles with velocity Vx and dVx, Vx plus dVx, which resides within this cylinder, right? So you tell me, what should I write next?
We need the distribution function. Sir, the
The
velocity.
distribution function, okay. Then distribution function, and we are determining what the average energy. So what should I write next?
This is not average. I think this is the energy particle which are distributed Vx and Vx plus dVx. The
Yes,
function is
the velocity of particles, but we are, I mean, averaging means we are averaging out all over the
space.
space,
Volume.
not exactly the y and z direction.
Okay.
Right. So what should I write next?
We have to integrate over all the y and z components of velocities in that cylinder.
Right, we are integrating over dvy and dvz, and what are we integrating, and what function, what quantity are we determining here? This will just give me the number. We are not defining the number. We are determining the energy carried out by the particles which having velocity Vx and Vx plus dVx. Should I write energy here? Come on, you have to, this is very much easy. You yourself can tell me. Then this will be a class. Otherwise, I will just write it on my own way, and there will be no scope of discussing. Okay. Since you are not telling me, I
Sir,
should.
can we
Yeah.
somehow I don't know is it correct or not. Can we somehow incorporate current into this?
Yes. Now my goal is to determine the velocity. Now, what am I actually determining? Okay, first, with this procedure, I will be determining the total energy Ex that is carried out per unit time. Now we have the carried out per unit time, per unit area, right? Within this area, dA, I can find out the total energy carried out per unit time. If we just divide this quantity by Jx is what? The number of particles coming out of this area, per unit second, per unit time. Now, what will this quantity give me? This Ex is the total energy. Is my handwriting recognizable? Can you read?
It's
Total
Yes, sir.
total yes, total energy carried out per unit time. Okay, per unit time divided by the total number of particles. This is carried out per unit time with this outlet. Okay, with this hole to this hole. Total number of particles coming out per unit time. What does that give?
Average energy per particle coming out through the
The
hole.
energy of the particle coming out right per unit time. The average energy. That's what if you just calculate this and turn out to be greater than the average energy, then your question is satisfied. Then you can see now, oh, okay, now I have higher energy, so my answer is right and I am getting what I expected, right? So I am so my intention is calculating this thing. Okay, so in order to do this, first we know Jx, sorry, we know Jx. We just have to calculate total energy carried out by the particles coming out of the this outlet per unit time. So I write Dex, the number of the energy carried out per unit time through this aperture, through this outlet with velocities Vx and dVx, right? I write, you just correct me if I am wrong, dA. This I am adding the velocity because the number of particles, see, this is the number of particles per unit volume. I have to multiply with the volume. The volume of the volume is that Vx dA. This is the number of particles. Now I have to integrate over the, now I have to multiply it with the this V, and I have to multiply with, you see, this up to this point, this is only the number of particles. This is just the number of particles within this cylinder. If we just write f of v and integrate with dvy and dvz, if we just integrate this will be the number of particles within that cylinder. But we don't want the number of particles. We have already got the number of particles. We want the number of the amount of energy. So we have to multiply with half m. Energy is what? Energy will be Vx square plus Vy square plus Vz square. And if we since we are only integrating with Vx, Vy and we are only integrating with Vy and Vz, y and z component, we will be this is the number, this is the amount of energy carried out by the particles per unit time having velocity between Vx and Vx plus dVx, right? So we know that f of v is what? Since m by 2 twice pi kt to the power 3 by 2 e to the power minus mv square by no, what
2 pi
what was
kt.
that?
2
2 pi
kt.
kt. 2 kt, right? You can easily do this integration. Okay,
Yes,
this
sir.
integration I just checked in the previous checked. Okay, so how about we do this integration and okay, now we have m by 2 n dA, and we can just yeah, vy square and vz square, we call this, okay, we can perform this integration dvy dvz. Vx remains outside, no matter. Okay, Vx doesn't disturb us. Mm, and we have here this m over 2 pi kt thing, and we have to integrate this part. Okay, we have to integrate this part. Now, what this comes out to be 2 kt over m, that gives us, no, uh 2 kt, no, 2 pi kt over m this gives. But what does this velocity, there's v square expectation, that gives us this root mean square velocity, this velocity, this gives us something, vx square will remain plus maybe, you see what does this integration, gives us some dvy vy square, some this factor, this factor, okay, this factor, some e to the power minus m vy square over 2 kt. This gives us simply kt over m, if I am not wrong. No, because kt over m, and then you just plus add all the three components, and you get the just 3 kt over m, and that is the RMS velocity, right? Okay, so if that's the case, then we will have just kt plus 2 kt over m, and this exponential to the power minus mvx square over 2 kt. And if you just do this another thing, because there is v square and v coming, okay, and then if we just try to find out the ex is the total number of particles coming out of this aperture from can I take 5 more minutes, if you just
Yes,
or
sir.
if
Yes, sir. No problem.
you have
sir.
class immediately from 2?
No, sir. Actually, the link has not come yet.
Okay,
So
okay.
you can continue 5 minutes
Just
more.
I'm taking 3 to 4 more minutes. Okay. Who have just joined? Okay. Okay. So yeah. So the thing is that we have v square and vx. Vx is here. So I believe if you just calculate, this turns out to be some kt times n dA, and v cube expectation. V cube, I have just let me see my notes previously. Oh, this is just square root of m over 2 pi kt, right? Because okay, yeah, and yeah, so this turns out to be n dA square root of 2 kt over m, right? And if we just express this in terms of this v bar, this turns out to be kt, because v bar is square root of this 8 kt over pi m. If we just express it this in terms of v bar, then kt v bar n dA, and some half factor will be there. This is the total amount of energy carried out by the particles per unit time through this aperture. So let me find out the average this energy of per particle. This is the average energy per particle. This is the total energy. Total energy Ex divided by the this current. what was current? This is just half of KT V bar NDA. And what will be the what was the current? Current was V bar by 4, right? NDA. And what is this? This is 2 times of KT, right? Now you see what was the average energy per particle inside the box,
3/2 kT,
and what
1.5.
is
It's 2 kT, means it is greater than
what is higher?
energy per particle outside.
Exactly. So you see that the particles coming out of the just remember, this is the particle, this is the average energy of the particles that is coming out of the this outlet, just coming out of this outlet. This has not scattered and distributed. No, this is the particles have just coming out of the aperture and having a what, higher or lower temperature. If we just compute the temperature, what will be the higher or lower temperature?
Higher temperature.
Higher temperature, right? So the particles coming out with a temperature or the energy greater than this average temperature within the box, or average energy within the box. So this matches with our expectation. This can match with our expectation that the particles coming out of certainly the particles having high energy or the high velocity, high energy, that can only come out of this box, and with a effectively higher temperature or the higher energy. Okay, up to this. Okay, so any questions, any comments, any discussions you would like about up to this?
So, but this is showing that the velocity should be higher outside. Means the temperature, the temperature energy per particle that is coming out of the box, they are certainly greater than the energy of the particle that resides inside the box. Means average energy. So if the average energy is greater, then certainly we will be expecting that the velocity outside the box, is that the particles, those are just coming out of the box, they must be higher. But the calculation which you have shown earlier, that is, it's 1/4 times the average velocity. Means they are
Yes.
contradicting each other.
Yes. No.
Somehow.
So that's yes. So the thing is that the velocity what we have calculated, you may just think that we have calculated exactly the same thing about in both the cases, in the first case and in the second case, that okay, all the velocities coming out to be the lower velocities. No, that actually not the case. I mean, that calculation that gives us this first one that tells us the number of particles escaping, and we just we just took the average number of particles. Here we are dealing with the number of particles. Yes, but when we actually deal so the number of particles, when we try to calculate with the number of particles, that does not really show us the true nature of this thing. But when we actually try to do this problem by introducing proper this energy distribution, this energy calculation, when we try to compute the energy, that tells us that only the higher energy will be allowed to come out of this box. Yes, they are contradicting, I agree with you, but what then you should take the this thing calculated within the energy limit. Okay, with the energy calculations, because the number, when you are computing with the number density calculations, you are seeing that no, the velocity is something that we have just
Sir, can I say something? Means
Yes.
I think the number with the problem that arising with the number, I think that's because the distribution function which you have shown earlier, certainly the particles which are having the higher velocities, they are not in more number. Means we certainly don't expect to be in more number. So I think the particles with velocity somewhat between low and high velocities, they are most probable, means the number of particles existing is more. So I think that's why we are getting a
Yes.
lower number of velocity in this case,
Yes.
which
Yes.
is not
That is
exactly
also-
determining the true answer of this question. I think that
Yes, because you like you said that the number, the which I just showed in the this thing, the number of particles having very high velocity, they are very less in number. Okay, the number of particles, the most of the particles have velocity in the moderate range, not in the high range. Okay, so when we calculate within the number thing, when we consider the number of particles, there are mixed particles. The particles are in the very mixed manner, right? There are very less number of particles with very high energy. So when we try to calculate the average velocity by this number, by considering the number density and this thing, we only considering the number of particles, how many particles are escaping, then we get the wrong answer. But although the high energy particles are very less, but when we calculate using the proper kinetic energy of the outcoming particles, although the particles having very high velocity have a very less number, but the contribution of energy is maximum for them. Did you get my point?
Yes, sir.
The energy density, the energy of the outcoming particles, the outgoing particles, the energy is determined by these high velocity particles, not the mid velocity particles which are maximum in number. Because the velocity is so high in this end, the velocity is so high, although they are very less in number, the velocity in, when we try to calculate the number density and we just try to calculate the average velocity, that turns out to be wrong. Okay, anything you want to add? Nilanjan said it very correctly. Anything, or still you have some confusions regarding this? Anything you want to say? Hello? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
So
No doubt, actually.
Sorry, what?
I'm saying, sir, no doubt in this person.
Okay, anyone among you, anything? So this is the ambiguity. This happens when you calculate the same problem, attacking the same problem from different point of view, and you get the different result. Because you are actually calculating the different things, two different things. When we try to average out the velocities, that the answer is wrong. But when we try to calculate the correct energy thing, the outgoing energy, the energy carried out by the particles, then we get our correct expected result. Okay, because there is a distribution in the within the container, distribution among the velocities, distribution among the energies, and the very high energy particles are very less in number, but they actually governs the energy. Okay. Because you see, the energy is half mv squared, the v to the power 2. So the more velocity, if the velocity is order of magnitude high, then it becomes square and then contributes to the energy. But when we try to calculate the expectation of this number and expectation of v only, they don't contribute within this C number density, this number and the number of flux. Okay. Did you get?
Yes, sir. Sir, I
Yes.
want to add one more thing. Yes, I think
Sure.
it is also more evident that the high energy particle will be coming outside the box because in kinetic theory you already had an assumption. We already made an assumption that there is no collision between the particles. Certainly, then the particles which are having higher energy or high velocity, it might be less in number, but they will be
Right,
certainly the first to come out.
Right. That's true. That's true. So, if anyone does not have anything to say, anything more to add, then we can end our class and we will we'll meet in the next week. Okay. Acha, one more thing before you all leave. I tried to contact you all. I tried to forward this mail in this your email ID, that is this UG, this what it says, this UG, this ISCS UG, ISCS UG 20 this sorry 2020 @gmail.com, but somehow the mail did not.
Yes, sir, I have added. Now you can send the mail.
Why?
It's a
why
Google group
did not I
actually.
previously-
Sir,
Sorry?
actually, you are not added in the group, I
Yes,
think.
previously you were
Oh,
not added. Now I have added you.
Oh, I can
Akashiji,
send.
is it 2020 or 2025?
2020.
Okay.
No,
okay.
then someone told me, then Protoy told me that it is if we just send it to be 2025, then I tried 2020 sending a mail to 2025 and that
No,
worked.
sir, actually this one is preferable.
This what
2020. ISS UG 2020.
2020 is
Actually, you
preferable.
were not there previously in the group. Now I have added you. So if you send the
Now-
mail now, then it.
Oh, okay, I have got a notification that you are okay added you to the ISS
Yes.
UG 2020. Okay. Then I will send the link and the further any communications to that mail.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay,
It's like a broadcast.
Sorry.
So it is like a broadcast.
It is like a broadcast, so you all get the mail if I send it there.
Okay, yes.
Okay. Thank you for joining, and we will meet up.
Sir, can you please send these notes in PDF form?
I will send. Okay, sure. I will send these notes in the PDF form to you. Sure.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.